think I'm live. Yay, I am so late, but my camera wasn't working. I don't know what was up. I could not get it to work. That and my eyes are freaking burning. I'm like, are you kidding me? Should I get for wearing makeup? So hi, sorry I'm so late. It was weird. I couldn't get my camera to work. I unplugged it like 3 times. I moved it. I did everything I could. I don't know. It's weird. Weird times. So we'll see how it goes. I'm here. Come on in. See if you guys can comment for me. Hi, Gigi, you did, Jay. I said that. Cool. Alrighty. And my eyes are burning, so forgive me. I don't know. I was like, well, I've never really done 2 lives in a row on YouTube, have I? I don't know. I'm like, okay, what do we talk about this time? Thanks, Angela. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. It's a brand new camera. I'm like, really? Why are you doing that? I'm like, of course, right, as I'm going live, but I just didn't stress it. And then all of a sudden it was working. Like all of a sudden it was working. And so I'm like, okay, well, hey, it's working. I even talked to the camera. I'm like, really? I was like, what did I do to you? And all of a sudden it started working. So maybe it was my pep talk. Or my frustrated talk. Yeah, it is weird. I don't know. Just weird stuff going on up in the world. That's all I know. Just weird stuff going on. So, the thought came to mind when I kind of asked, or just for any kind of idea, was like, what we really forget to ask is, how well can you listen to your body? How well can you listen to your body? Hi. Ooh, it's snowing, huh, in Pennsylvania. Today's been pretty nice here. We got to the 50s. It's beautiful. But you guys, they are bringing up the fact, and I think it's for a reason, again, because we're going into a world of more being able to heal ourselves. And the medical profession will change. This I'm pretty darn sure of. So, no wonder they're bringing it up. But when I was a kid, I always found it fascinating how we go to somebody else to tell us what's inside of us, and everything they do is a masker. So it's just a mass of symptoms, except maybe antibiotics, which do what? Pretty much kill everything off, good or bad. So it's like, you guys, that's funny. I'm glad you're getting snow. I think our weather is going to become more real again now that other things are changing. So I'm excited for that. I don't think we'll have such droughts and things anymore. But Spirit's showing me that we need to really pay attention to how well we listen to our bodies. Like, I was always frustrated with doctors. It's like they would never really know what was wrong with me. I always had, like everything else in the world, stuff that wasn't usual, stuff that didn't make sense, stuff that wasn't in the books, right? And so when something wasn't in the book, they didn't know either, and it boggled my mind. Like, I had scarlet's fever when I was little, walking pneumonia. Trust me when I tell you, I spent a lot of time in the hospital and in the doctor's offices. And I got to know, what they were about. And for me, it was a struggle. It's like, how I couldn't comprehend the concept. I've never fit into this world for a reason. I was here to change it, not be in it. But I never quite understood the concept of, first of all, they don't really know. They're going off of everything else they know, right, from knowledge gained, books or clients, things of that nature. But they don't really know for sure, and everybody's different, mind you. We forget that too. Everything is generalized, but everybody's so different. So different. In psychology, treatments must be tailored to the individual, or they're not going to work. And I feel like it's the same with everything that we do to our body. It's got to be tailored to the individual. That doesn't mean that there's not things that are general for everybody, right? Like cures and things like that. And that doesn't mean that medicine isn't needed to an extent or doctors aren't needed to an extent. I do think, however, a lot of medications basically generally just kill you. And they're typically designed to do so, the bottom line, right? They're maskers. So with that being said, it's like, how well can we listen to our body? If you take Tylenol, if you take antidepressants, those are the worst, especially from my experience from healing multiple individuals and going into their systems. You guys, I can read your system like crazy. I tend to be able to tell, there's drugs in here, or there's things blocking, or just whatever's going on. And it is very common that medications block our ability to read our body. That is one of the biggest issues, right? Like this new thing that's coming out is supposed to be the cure-all, end-all of the worry. Is said, what my guides show me is it's going to block your ability to read into yourself or spirit. So if you know people who've had it, that's one of the main things it's going to do right away, if not make them sick and other things as well. That is actually happening. But my point is that even myself, I've had to come to a state where I'm eating healthier and I'm doing healthier things and I'm loving myself. Because when we do that, our vibration rises, the things that we put into it rises in vibration, and so therefore we're able to hear better. We're able to listen better. We're able to know ahead of time almost before our body speaks to us. Okay, so like since Valentine's Day is coming up, it's like love is the theme in my head. And so I'll use partners as an example. If I can hear my body, then guess what that means? That means that I can hear his body. And if I can hear his body, listen up, then I'm going to know what he needs or what he wants. My ears are ringing. Oh, sunshine, yeah. If I can hear what he wants without him asking, who am I? To him now. Like, what does that do to our relationship, do you think? Same with the mouth. Like, we're always trying to be heard so bad, but since my awakening, and I always struggled with this before, but I've learned so much that all of our communication comes from, not all, okay, let me correct what I said. Most of our communication, my eyes are burning, so I'm sorry, I put makeup on and it's like, what the hell did you do to me, lady? But most of our communication comes from the vibrations around us, in us, and our ability to tune in. And so Spirit really wants to know, be honest, how well can you listen to yourself? Yes, alcohol, as Angela said, she got into the wine because her toothache is killing her. You got to get into that dentist quick, girl. But the thing is we're going to not need dentists someday. Like, they're more detrimental in a lot of ways. Taking my kids to get x-rays every 6 months always bothered me. Like, but if we can completely tune in to our own body, we don't need medicine. We wouldn't have ever needed the medicine. Right? That was that vicious cycle that's going to fall away. So when I tune in to other people's bodies, I can hear what foods they might need. It always the modalities for healing that always come through are foods, crystals, oils, essential oils, things of that nature. Apple cider vinegar, teas like turmeric, spices, just everything within food and nature, right, is all that we really truly need. But I do think, we'll find benefit in between both worlds at some point. With that being said, also with meditation, like, how can you meditate if you can't tune into your body? We've been so separated from ourselves. We were so trained to be separated from ourselves. The food that they give us, I'm discovering all of this, and I've always felt it to some degree, but it's like such part of my reality now. It's like right smack dab in my face, especially with doing healings for other people, let alone watching my own transformation and dealing with my own vibration rising to like the craziest high and then going to the craziest low during my own healing. And it's nuts. But the ability to tune into your body is key to life, okay? It truly is. It's the key to healing. It's the key to love making. It's the key to a successful relationship. And that's complicated, right? That is just, relationships can be complicated in general because you're taking two different people with two different everything and you're trying to combine them. And unless it just meshes perfectly, then there's always that struggle, right? Unless you've both got something to work on, there's always that struggle of some sort. But the ability to stop using this and be able to feel into vibrations, can you imagine how quickly we can understand each other further, or how much more? That's where Tantra comes in, and things of that nature, you guys. Like when I first had my awakening, traveling, in your sleep and doing things is very real. Everything is energy. And so you have to be able to tune in to the most sensitive waves in order to create magic. That's also where Spirit's telling me right now is where enlightenment comes from. And so you have to ask yourself, am I able to tune in? Like, am I really truly able to tune in? Yeah, okay. So Angela's I'm reading the comments. To the dentist tomorrow after work. Not sure what's going on. Yeah. So, yeah, I feel like stuff kind of seeps under there. Like, how can you get into there and clean it enough? I feel like it's going to be time to go back and forth. Some of the stuff they did just only lasts so long. I have one of those too. And I'm like, ooh, I didn't want it. So, that's the thing. Like, I think people's truth and how well they're able to listen to themselves, they might surprise themselves, because I'm watching even enlightened people all over the world. They're all over the place right now. You can tune into anywhere on YouTube and find some. And they're all saying similar things, right? Except I think I'm the only one that said I raised Atlantis, but that's okay. I have to own it. It's my truth. But I look at some of them still and I'm like, okay, you can tell they're listening to themselves. They're like on it because, I've been healing and I'm not 100% in my power yet. I'm getting there inch by inch and just wait when I get there. And you can kind of tell. It's like then they comes to a point where they kind of go off balance the other way. And you can kind of tell. It's like, so I'm learning that balance is a constant maintenance. It's not that it's hard to keep. It's that it's a constant maintenance, okay? And so until you learn to ride that wave, and until you learn to ride the biggest waves with ease and grace and right in the middle and in complete balance, and I think that's when pure enlightenment comes in. But the fact is if you think you ever know it all, then you stop learning. And if you stop learning, then you can't be a master of anything, right? And so that's what Spirit wants us to do, is contemplate how well are we willing to listen to our bodies. Yeah. Ugh, rough. Okay, I'll pray for you. It's tomorrow you're going in, right? Okay. So, does anybody like, like I'm doing the meditations and I've noticed the numbers drastically drop, so either people lost interest or I'm behind. But does anybody have any questions on those if they are doing them that are here with me tonight? If you do, go ahead and shoot them out to me now in the comments, and that way I can answer those live. Other than that, we'll see how the rest of the days go. We're almost halfway through, right? Yeah. Yeah, it is a constant healing and balancing of ourselves, isn't it? But it's like balance in every which way. And I'm still not there. Like, I'm still not in that balance yet where complete flow, just everything. You know, I've been there before. And then, like, my whole path changed purposefully. You know, I had to go through everything I went through for a reason. I had to be who I am for a reason. It's just who I am. You write your own path, right? I firmly believe that. Looking at my chart, knowing my life, like, it's nuts. Like, the reality of what we are, our capabilities, is absolutely astonishingly, mind-blowingly amazing. I'll just tune in really quick. I just felt the need to Zed Keel. Okay, so I'm all of a sudden hearing Zed Keel coming forth. Sorry, I'm regrounding, and they're kind of doing it for me. So I heard get ready to dance, and then I heard the tides of change again, and that's not the first time I've heard that. Okay, so all right, so the message really is you've got to learn to listen, because it's going to be like going this way and this way and then this way and then this way, and it is going to be that way for a little bit coming forward. Does that make sense? It's going to be like, got to go this way, got to go that way. Okay, I got to go this way, and I got to go that way. And so you've got to really be able to listen. Because you are choosing, like choosing the left or right. So you could use it as a human analogy and say, are you choosing the red pill or the blue pill? Or a spirit would say, which world are you choosing? The best, okay, so they're showing me the best possible thing for people to do right now. The best absolute possible thing is to sit there every day, opening your heart, forgiving yourself, right? I feel like our deepest, darkest secrets may even be surfacing at times right now. It could be physical, it could be emotional, whatever the case may be, like physical things, emotional things. My biggest, like, shadow self popping out of my third eye the other day, and I have no idea, right? Like, these are times that you cannot look up in the history books. Does that make sense? You cannot look these times up in the history books. If I look at it from my story alone, it's absolutely bonkers. Like, what the hell? I wake up at a certain time, all of a sudden I'm on this journey that is not my own. My whole life changes. You know, I'm in constant meditations and doing things I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Experiences beyond experiences, cleansing so many souls out of the earth, like seeing so much bloodshed, crying, having to process. Like, it's just been out of this world, and I feel like it's been that way for every person in existence, quite honestly, in some way, shape, or form. And so, you know, Spirit's kind of going, how can that be happening? And some people are still like, okay, back to normal existence, right? Like, what the world? Like, that's where they call it programmed. Okay, that's where they call it programmed. There is so much going on around everybody that it's impossible to see. Like, they don't, it's hard to fathom, I should say, that people are still like, okay, all is well. There was, you know, who cares? There was obvious lying, stealing, cheating. Who cares? You know, it's like such, the world is weird. This is weird. It is like the Truman Show falling apart, right? It's like the film starting to melt right in front of your eyes. And shit's going awry. And you want to know what a movie keeps popping into my mind is zombies. People are like zombies. So it's not like sheeple. They look at you like a zombie. Like you're mindless, nasty, brain-eating shits. I mean, that's the way we were treated, right? Like, it's nuts. Aw, cool. What's up? Aw, cool. So good. Oh, good. Yeah, cool. That's so good to hear, you guys. Thanks for letting me know. I don't know if everybody else can see the comments. I noticed the last live I did, people couldn't see the comments afterwards. And I'm like, well, that's not right. What did I do? I'm trying to fix that. What the hell? It's always something this month, you guys. That's what's up. It's like always something going on with technology, with communication, with whoever's. I thought right when I said it was the algorithms disliking my videos, I got 2 in a row. I was like, well, damn it, that just proved that. But that's okay. I'll still take it as that person's way of loving. Right? Can you do releasing and not know what you are releasing? Absolutely. Let me give you an example. Have you ever, all of a sudden, that song just popped in my head, but have you ever experienced a time where you go into a state of like where you're just tired, you're sad, you feel funky, you can get really grumpy, like no triggers around you that you're aware of. Just all of a sudden these things start coming up, right? And then the next thing you know, you're like crying it out. Maybe you get sick, okay? Different things like that because, right, getting sick is kind of releasing it and turning into stagnant energy and so on and so forth and just not moving it around. But you don't have to see it or acknowledge it necessarily to let it go. Does that make sense? If you can just all of a sudden cry something out or it comes to the surface and then it's like a few days later, you can tell there's a difference in the way you look at things. All of a sudden you're like, all right, I got this, ready to move on. Kind of like a breakup. Right? That's why they say time heals all things. Unless you're a barrier, unless you bury those situations or become a stalker, like right, like we were talking about with Donita's guy, because it is like an ex. Like, you know, does that all that make sense? I don't know where I was going. My mind just like skips trains. But yeah, so. Like then you become like obsessed and you can't stop thinking about it or you never let them go because you never deal with it. But if you can actually deal with it, that's why they say heal before you go get another one. And you can move on and allow the next person to love you. Now, if you have a lot to release, you don't exactly know how, then moving on is not a good idea for a while. Doesn't mean people don't come in to change your reality for a moment. Life is crazy like that. But yeah, to answer your question, a very long answer, I suppose. Yes, we don't need to see it, or understand it to let it go. And that's why I get bonkers with people who get obsessed with past lives. So I've had to go into a few, to release some things. I had one that was very much so similar to this one back in the 1800s. And so specifically, I went to that one to release to clear this lifetime. Okay, so that's all fine and dandy. Sometimes people get really obsessed with that, like, ooh, I want to know the details. With what I saw, it was good. I didn't need to know anything else. It was kind of brutal what I saw. I'm going to tell you I'm a badass bitch many lifetimes. You think my attitude is just this lifetime? No, sir. No. Anywho, there's people who get stuck on wanting to know all the details and wanting to know more past lives, and then they end up going down a rabbit hole. They can't seem to get out of it, like consumes them. and they never end up going forward because they're always too busy going backwards. Does that make sense? So if we can actually release without having to know details, I'd say bye-bye, goodbye, woo-hoo, thank goodness. So hopefully I know the answer to and then some. No? You know what I'm saying? The problem is when we bury it. And you can tell you bury it, because I can even hear somebody go, how do you know you bury it and you don't deal with it? Like, okay, well, that happened. I'm just going to stow that away so I can move on now. Okay, that's the number one thing. I'm just going to move on now. I'm going to put that aside, bubble, and just deal with it. And just shut up and move on now. Like, aren't you over it already? Whatever needs to rise with it, you allow it to rise, right? You don't bottle it up and you allow it to rise. You cry when you need to cry about it. You let the moods come. You give them love, right? That's the key. Love is the key. And so that's kind of answer to that one, even though nobody asked it. Hi. Cool. Yeah. So good questions. I like questions a lot. So my eyes are feeling a little less burny, and they're a little more white. So I don't know about my camera. I tried to put it back over here, and then it went wonky. Like, that's what happened. I tried to move it, then it went wonky. It wasn't working. So thank goodness I got it to work, but it went in 20 minutes into my video, didn't it? So yeah, that's that. See if there's anything else that's coming up. Any more questions you guys might have? Or I might pull a little bit of a message for the collective to start some energy movement. Gigi says that's what I was told to do all my childhood. Get over it. Don't cry. Yeah, my dad's famous thing to me was toughen up. Like I was a little tomboy. I was tough. I don't think I ever wore a dress until I was like, I don't know. My first dress, I remember, you know that song, Don't Worry, Be Happy? I had that on there. I remember I was pretty proud because my dad was like, you got to be a girl, right? Like, it was always like, be a girl. And then it was like, stop crying. Like, playing baseball. Whack, right in the shin. Quit crying. Yeah. Yeah, that was my childhood in a nutshell. Well, that's confusing. God. And man, was I emotional. I was tough. I was just like the guys. But boy, could I be emotional too. Which, are you too sensitive? You have to be sensitive to read people. So it's not a curse, it's a gift. There's no crying in baseball. That's right. There's no crying in baseball. Are you crying? Like, I so just got him in my head. I can't do his voice justice. But yeah, that's so funny. There's no crying in baseball. Get up, shake it off. She's literally like shaking. Dump it up, dump it up. What are you doing? It's so funny. Dun, 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 dun. I'm trying to see what parts I might need. I'm like one deck, and what do they give me? Like 3 or 4 ideas. Okay, I think that's good for me right now. Okay. So I kind of want to do something different for the collective. I want to ask specific questions and see what I get. Okay? Okay? Y'all into that? Oh, Angela used to be the guy's arm wrestling. Hell yeah, me too. Like the last guy he dated, he took me to this party, right? Which I'm not a partier, but I went to make him happy and hang out with his friends and meet all his friends. And of course, I kicked everybody's ass in darts. Like, it was so cool. I almost kicked all their butts in playing pool, but I get a little nervous. Playing darts, man. I blew them all in the water. I was like, yeah, I still got it. I may be getting older, but I still got it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, isn't that crazy? What an identity crisis. Guys think they got it bad? Holy hell, man. Women are sex objects, especially if you grew up in the 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, right? Yeah, see? That's what I'm saying, you guys. And then guys got told don't cry too, you guys. Guys got told men don't cry. Men don't cry, what the hell are you doing? What's wrong with you? You're an embarrassment. Like, holy hell. And then you go to other countries, man. Whew. Oof. That's right. Big girls don't cry. They don't cry. They don't cry. Thank you. Now I have that in my head. Don't cry. They don't cry. Thanks. It's all in my head now. I think I'm gonna facelift, you guys. Like, I don't believe in all that stuff. I don't even like makeup so much. But now I'm getting older. I'm like, like it used to be so natural. You didn't have to do nothing. It looked pretty. Now I'm like, I blowed it. I should have did something when I looked good. Alright, so these two actually fell out. This is from the ones I've been creating. I am hilarious. I make myself laugh every day. Oh, dude, I make myself laugh so hard. I find humor in so much that I do. It's great. And then I notice I'm laughing at my kids too. But sometimes inappropriately, so you gotta watch that. You don't always want to laugh when they fall. I mean, sometimes it's really funny, right? So just make sure they're okay first, and then I am multi-talented. I can do anything and everything. I can do anything and everything. Don't tell me I can't, because if you challenge me, home slice, forget it. I will score you. I will run you. I will win. And if I don't the first time, believe me, I will the second, third, fourth, fifth, and everyone after that. Sometimes I just need a little warm up. Oh, that one, yes, I'll give you something to cry about. Yep, absolutely. I found myself using that one before, and that's when I noticed, oh, yuck. Yuck. Like, why are you crying? Like, there's no reason to cry. I can give you something to cry about. That's how I did it, but it came at me a little different than that, but still I noticed I used it, and it's like, ugh. Ugh. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Funny all this stuff that we had to deal with. You know, I mean, I can understand acceptance in every way. I'm of the highest light. You know, we've discovered I'm an oddball from hell. I claim I'm Pleiadian, I'm a Garden, all these like weird things, right? I believe in equality all around the board. Everybody is their own. I just don't like when you push anything either way. Like this gender equality is getting pushed a little too far, in my opinion. It's okay to have a male and a female as well, right? Because that's how we keep reproducing. Period. We have to have one and the other. It's like you have to have everything to make everything work. And so I'm just looking forward to the day where we don't have to discuss shit and everything is just flipping awesome and we get to live for like, I don't know, like 400 years. Yeah, that's funny. It's nuts. I can't wait till some of this shit just changes. I know it's coming. I know it's coming. I don't remember what Zed Gill said. Is that who came through? Does anybody remember what he said? Changes are coming. So he said, what did he say? That's one thing about channeling. That's why I kind of like writing everything down, because you do. There's times where it lived. If you're pure channeling, if you're completely open, it just comes through. Can you imagine all of the clients I've had? You guys, as a healer, we get in deep, deeper than you'll ever get as a psychiatrist. I can go deep within your soul and tell exactly what hurts you, right? I can see your trauma every time I go in your chakras. I see things, okay? Deep. I feel them. I see them. Where was I going with that? Good Lord. I can't think tonight. I don't know where I was going with that. My brain skipped tracks again. That's not too usual either. What's that? I don't know what I was even. Whatever. It wasn't important. It's always like, just shut up. Oh, yeah. Channeling. Forgetting channeling. Things like that. Yeah. So it just, if you're pure channeling and you're just an open vessel, it just passes through. Like, can you imagine? There we go. Now I'm back on track. Every client that I had, if I remembered all their personal crap, like, I feel like that's a really good thing to have as a healer and a psychic and a channeler, like I am. That way I don't hang on to everybody's everything. And people will come to me like, don't you remember? You talked about mine. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I don't, right? And so, I feel like also that kind of gives expression to the gifts that I have too. It's another reason I don't like to ask questions. Just like with Angela the other time, like before she could even tell me again what she wanted, I went into her energy and was already on it. It's like, that's why I don't. Right? Like, I'm thankful that I don't remember everything on channel. I really, truly am. But it would sure be nice sometimes. And by golly, if I didn't record everything, like Raising Atlantis with Pamela that time, in my healing session, it was my healing session, so I don't think I recorded it. And that's what sucks. It's like, oh, really? Whatever. I mean, I know I had a witness, but one, like, what's up with that? That's okay. It is what it is. It's the way it was supposed to be. It's the way I look at it. But I like need a transcriber with me all the time. I need a man. Sometimes I think that. Like, I need a man just so he can see everything that I do and he can help me. Like, we'll be in business together. And then he can help me. He'll critique my stuff because that might be the only one I listen to as long as he says it right. Oh, just sometimes. And then I'm like, okay, God tells me you don't need a man. I don't need no man. Okay. I don't need a man. I can do it. I got lighter couches. Solved. Problem solved. Get a foot rub. See, that's what I'm talking about. I could sure use a massage right now, man. I can give a mean one, but I don't even remember the last time I got one. It was like in massage school, and it was only instructions. Like, oh, do this. Okay, so it's quick and just, explanatory. Like, what the world? Like, what? I'm ready for that release. I need it. Oh, that'd be dangerous right now anyways. It's been a minute. I've been by myself for a minute, and I like it. So I'm just curious. If I ask a few questions to see what cards are pulled. Okay. I haven't ever really done it. I always just go by what is given to me. So everybody always asks me too, like, why don't you just ask spirit? Why don't you just do this? Right? And I found that I'm the type of healer. I was never somebody that sought out to learn how to do these because that's what I was going to do. Remember, this gift was like, wham, this is who you are. Wham, this is what you're doing. Bam, bam, bam. And it's just been a continual of that. God dang it, I can't think straight tonight. I give up, you guys. I'm going to go home now. Oh, wait, I am home. What was I talking about? God dang it. Oh, yeah. And so I've never really asked specific questions. I just kind of go with the flow. No, I don't utilize them for my own benefit either half the time. I forget to do that. I've always been hardcore, had to do everything on my own. And so even though Spirit's coming through for me all of a sudden, it was nothing I sought out. And so therefore I don't think of that first. I just don't. I don't. And sometimes they want to hide from it. Like, things hurt, right? Like, you don't want to know everything about everything. And so that being the case, maybe if we ask a few questions about what's coming, it'd be nice to see what answers we get. Because when I do my general guidance, I leave it open. I'm just like, what do they need to know? I let Spirit take charge of everything. Where I notice most people are opposite. They like to take charge of Spirit. And maybe that's why I am able to access all the higher things too, because I surrender to an umpteenth degree. So let's keep that in mind. There might be a little bit more balance to that part. But let's see what we can get if I get more specific and more like, well, I want to know this. So let's see. And thank goodness channeling comes from above, because my brain is just apparently just farting left and right tonight. It's like, what? What? Sunday night, I don't want to do anything. I'm going to go clean the house. That was what I usually do on Sundays. Okay. Spirit, creator of all that is. What do we need to know about the current? Okay, how should I? Does anybody have a good question they want to ask about the situation in the reality right now? Do you guys want to shoot out a few questions for me? Like, how should I word this? So, without maybe saying a specific name, like, what is being shown is that reality? Like, what do you guys want to ask? Elderberry juice, that's beautiful. I give that to my daughter all the time. My middle son is like, nah, so I make him take like a vitamin packet instead. Elderberry juice, I love that stuff. I give that to her. Aw, cool. Cool, Amy. Let me know what happens. Yeah. I'll tell you though, I begged for help for days. Like, help me with this, help me with this. And it wasn't until the right circumstances. Okay, so sometimes you got to create that perfect scenario. So just don't give up. And mine, man, it was in my solar plexus, it felt like, and it came out of my third eye. I don't know. It was some weird stuff. But let's see what I can ask. I don't know how to ask it, you guys. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, let's see. All right, Spirit, what can I ask about the presidency? Let's just say that way, about the current situation at hand. Like, is what we see what we get? Is this our reality at hand? What we see, let's go back to basics. Let's please everybody, okay? I'm kind of looking for that scenario, right? Because I'm just going to remove myself out of it. Like, let's see what Spirit has. Okay, so is what we see what we get? No, is the current president going to remain president? I'm hearing two more cards. I don't know, I'm hearing this one, but then I'm also hearing this one. So that's three more cards. Okay. Let's see what it says. Should I totally do them all upside down? Okay. All right. So this is very interesting. So I like channeling a little bit more. Damn these messages sometimes, right? Well, we have 1, 2, 3 major arcanas. And then we have prosperity and material harvest, truth, balance, and solitude. Okay. What's the best way to go? Okay, so it does kind of feel like solitude right now. It really does. It does kind of feel like energies are being separated. I'm hearing with that card, energies are being separated. Like, they are being divided. Energies are literally being separated. And that's what I'm hearing with the solitude card. So I got solitude. And so energies are being separated and divided purposefully. People are being made to have solitude as well, but I feel like this was for the presidency, right? So specifically for the presidency is that I feel like energies are being divided. It's like, you go to this house, you go to this house, your energy is here, kind of like Hogwarts school. Oh, I have the darker energy, I go to this house, right? So that's kind of what I'm seeing there. And then I'm also drawn to truth, okay? So I feel like there's still truth going to be surfacing, okay? There's truth surfacing now. I feel like it's already, so it's like, as well as the energies are being separated, so are what is truth and what is not. Okay, does that make sense? What is truth and what is not is being brought to the surface still. Okay, and then solitude. With the solitude card, it's the energies being divided on purpose, but it also happens in the collective. Balance. We are bringing about divine alignment and balance is the best way I can say this, because I'm drawn to the 11 card here also, which is about it's like a ascension portal, right? So we are ascending into balance. Okay, we're ascending. This is a major arcana card. These are major arcana cards. These are major changes. These are major life force changes. There's 3 of them: solitude, truth, and balance. Okay, so we are calling about, we are rising into balance is what this card is telling me. We are rising into balance within the presidency, because that was specific to my question, like that. And then we have material harvest and material and spiritual prosperity. Okay, and so what happens when, so this is what they're showing me, what happens when something that was yours was taken away for many, many years? Like, what if you had the ability to turn everything gold and it was taken from you? And you didn't, and then many years passed, many generations gone by, and they had no idea what was taken that was actually theirs. And so I feel like we're coming into where the energies are being separated, truths and lies are being separated and shown. They're being separated, so it's like I'm going to pull these apart so that everybody can see the difference between the two. And then we are ascending into balance in order to, like, we are all going to have a material. So it's like, are we all really going to lose everything? Like, are we really going to come into a place where it's like everything's desolate, solitude, we got to grow our own food? I feel like it's going to be so abundant and so materially and spiritually prosperous. Okay, and that's what these are also saying, and I feel it too. All right, and so I guess that's what Atlantis was all about. I still don't know. I saw myself die there in Atlantis. I can tell you the energy I felt there. I can tell you the crystal stuff I've been doing since then and before that, and things like that. But I don't know everything yet. But I feel like Atlantis was very abundant, and I feel like people live very, very, very long lives. Like 100 years is like a quarter, like, right? Like, healthy, right? And so I feel like all of this is coming our way. Okay. But I feel like within the presidency as well, we are going to receive from them material harvest, because they've been hoarding it. So all those truths are being separated and brought to this. This is a badass reading. I like this a lot. Does that help? And so the cards are even kind of going with everything that's still been being talked about and presented. I wish they would tell you, like, this is going to happen on this day, right? Because I told y'all before, Spirit showed me handcuffs coming out. Handcuffs are coming into play. Some people I know, I've heard of people already getting arrested. I don't know until I see it, right? I don't like to play too much into anything. I do truly focus more inward than I do outward. But as far as these cards are saying for the question that I asked, is this really what we're being seen? The energies are being separated. Truths are being removed from fiction. And we are ascending into balance. Okay, so take that for what it's worth. Let's see here. Let's try this way too. I'm going to try one more thing. These are more the yes or no cards, right? From Chuck. Just out of curiosity. Alright, Spirit. Please show us through these cards if Mr. Biden, the one who is being presented to us as being there, is going to stay. Let's try that. Is this going to stay the way that it is being presented to us now? Show me with a yes or no answer. I haven't tried these this way, so let's just see if it works. Two sides. Biden, the one who is in charge. No. Wait, what's this say? Connect to Spirit. Did you guys see me shuffling too? I hope so. You guys look at that. That's fun. I just wanted to do that for fun. It's making me feel lighter. Amen. And I got a 4. 4 means spiritual also. 4 is a very much so an angelic number. Whenever I see 4, they're telling me that they're sending me support, right? And so, yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you. And it couldn't have been a better card, Connect to Spirit. Like, no, you need to connect to Spirit if you're questioning that. That's hilarious. I think so too. So we simplified it as far as we can simplify it, right? And we got a big astounding no, connect to Spirit. Oh, I love it. That's funny. That was a good one. Well, that makes me feel better. I don't know about all you. Oh my God. Oh, that's so great. So not only are the cards, I like the way the card said it too, 3 major arcana. So that's a lot of change. That's a lot of major change coming forth. A lot of decisions being made and a lot of change. It's not like disruptive change, but it's major change. And for solitude, truth, and balance, okay? It does kind of look like solitude, doesn't it? Like it looks like somebody's been put in a corner. That's the energy we're in. They do have a sense of humor, Gigi. Absolutely, Spirit has a sense of humor. I've even been laughed at a couple times. Like, who was I pulling for? Roger. I haven't seen him in a while. And they were laughing at me. They're like, are you really going to pull the goddess deck for Roger? Because I just kept holding on to that deck. It was funny. They do have quite the sense of humor. Oh my gosh, yes. There was another Facebook Live I was doing. I think it was Marlene back in the day before she went down the divide, right? Because we all have divided. But she, like, it was coming through with the funniest messages, like, don't beat him with the newspaper. Like, I'm like, really, Spirit? Like, it was like, you want to beat him with the newspaper? I'm having to tell her, please don't do that. No. The Spirit's just being funny. It's hilarious. They are super funny. Super funny. Yeah, I liked that. That was fun. I'm glad I did that. So, would you guys like a love card? You want a love card before I go out on this one? For my patrons, I may, depending upon how the upcoming patron healing event goes, I'll work in your free readings. Don't worry about that. You will get them. But right now, I would like to, and I'd be willing to do one love card for everybody, if you would like one, everybody that's here. I think I've talked enough about what Spirit wants. Hopefully everybody's listening, because when Spirit gives messages, they're very meaningful and purposeful, right? All right. How about I do a heart and a black one? Heart and a love oracle card. So I just want to erase this on myself. I'll do a heart and then I'll do a black one. That's like love and then darkness. No, that's not what I mean. That's funny. All right. don't think I've eaten all day. I just realized that. Cool. Alright, you guys. Yay! So I'll just go with the first yes, Gigi, Angela, and then Kathleen so far. Gigi, Angela, and then Kathleen so far. Alright. So you guys, do your best to tune into your bodies. That is a message, very important, especially if you want happy relationships. By golly gee gosh. Not only do we have to be in tune, with love, it's just you gotta be in tune with yourself completely. And the more in tune you get with yourself, the more in tune you can be with everything around you. Okay, so keep that in mind. Alright. I like these cards, even if they're weird to shuffle. I really like these cards. Gigi, Angela, Kathleen. Hey, they are funky to shuffle though, so I really do get a little bit OCD about shuffling sometimes. Like when I used to make coffee, I couldn't stop pouring in the grinds before they had K-cups. Thank goodness for K-cups for somebody who has OCD. Because I would just get going and it wasn't enough, and then I'd have to level. It was weird stuff. We won't go there. But I still find myself doing that a little bit with the shuffling. I'll watch other psychic and mediums and stuff. I'm like, well, they didn't really shuffle that well. So if you think about it, you go like this, and you're just moving them this way and that way and this way, and then your odds increase for pulling the same card. See how I think? I don't know. It's not going to the rabbit hole of my mind. All right. Gigi, Angela, Kathleen, and Amy. You got it. All right. So, Gigi. Love message for Gigi, please. Where is the love for Gigi? Where are we at? Ooh. That one, oh my gosh. Okay. They went flying out. It's funny because that's the one I saw before I started shuffling it as soon as I said it. And you got two that came flying out, so those are your cards. First of all, the message I'm getting, Gigi, you got the snake and then you got the moon, and they're both a couple, okay? And so what this is showing me is that you're transforming into a deeper connection. You guys are in the process of shedding some muck. You are in the process of transforming and shedding some muck, okay? It's like coming into a deeper level of connection. But before you get there, it's a little bumpy. There might be a few bites, right? Snakes it's just that shedding that skin. Sometimes it gets a little stuck as it's shedding, they're telling me. But it's all purposeful and in order to come to a higher connection with that soulmate, okay? And then I'm hearing the cards actually say, with this one, it says power. You instinctively know what is right for you, and you have the power to say no or to walk away at any time, okay? But that's standing in our own power, isn't it? It's standing in our own power collectively, but together. All right, and then embrace. Through each other, you find the missing pieces, okay? But I'm really hearing that you're transforming and coming into a higher connection between the two of you. And this really is a symbol of that as well. Through each other, you find the missing pieces. That was beautiful. Aww. By golly gee gosh. Transforming. It's beautiful. Okay, Gigi. Alright. Angela. Ooh, Angela. Right away I'm seeing the black deck. They're like, that one first. Okay. I still see a wedding dress as soon as I go into your space. With Gigi, it's like passionate, woo woo, starting to light up. And then I go into yours, and it's like this beautiful, deep love, connection, and a whole new commitment to that whole new level. Beautiful. All right. Angela, I got a photograph. Looking at your photos, I'm missing you. Nostalgia, make new memories. And so this really does go with that. It's like growing, you're reminiscing, but you're growing into a new, and it's time to make new memories into the newness of a higher level of a relationship. So same thing with you. It's like you're going up into a higher level of a relationship. It's starting that process now. You're reminiscing, missing the way things once were, but they're no longer that way. And so it's super important to start to make new memories. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, right? I know. You're welcome, Gigi. So beautiful. Yeah, but I feel like when they show me the skin, it's like it gets snagged a couple times, right? Like when you release individually, it gets heavy and ugly. And then when we release as a relationship, it's like, ooh, fights can ensue. Some miscommunication, things get heated, passionate, right? So Angela, I'll pull one of these now for you. So photograph, continue making new memories together. Continue. So what it's also telling me, Angela, is that it's time to continue learning to understand each other on a deeper level. And that's what they mean by making new memories. So learn to tune into him in different ways. Learn to acknowledge the subtle smiles. Okay? Okay? That's the one. That be the one. Aww. Yeah, and that's exactly what I said, is tune in, and this is the card that flew out. Okay, and this is all about tuning in, listening to that inner source rather than our voice, our external voice, because again, I feel like when we do that, sometimes it does more damage. I know that for sure. And so be willing to tune in to that beautiful essence within you, to be able to tune into the beautiful essence within him. And then this one says, deep in your heart, you already know the answer. Do what feels right. Okay? Yes, exactly. Make new memories. That's exactly it. It's like, how do we get past those old memories? Well, by golly, we make new ones. Are you willing to make new ones? Like, what is life is a series of events. Some unfortunate, some beautiful. Right? Kathleen M. Again, they're going to the black deck first for you. Right? I like these little cards. Okay, well, first of all, Kathleen, Spirit shows me this, and this is what I'm going to tell you, okay? So it's like you're both standing in front of each other, and you've got prickly Band-Aids on. What does that mean? Okay, and so they further go on to like rip those prickly Band-Aids off. And so then what they told me is that you're both equally stubborn. There's like stubbornness abound, stubbornness going on, and they want you to rip them off. Rip those prickly Band-Aids off, both of you, because you're very stubborn. And so what this shows me is that it's very hard for both of you. This is equal on both parts to go into that lovey stage. You know what I'm saying? That's like bullheaded. It's not like you can't, like nobody wins the argument, you know, because in your mind you're really both always right. Like I know I'm right, but I'm just gonna let him get. I'm just gonna drop this one, and so it's kind of how it goes. But you're both very, very stubborn, and so you just gotta be willing to rip that prickly Band-Aid off and be vulnerable with each other, and that's the key. What the hell? Definitely stunning. Okay, and this one's upside down. Okay, so what did I just say to you? Let's take note before I read the card, because when they're upside down, it's definitely something. And so, well, they're all something, but stubborn. You both need to just rip the Band-Aid off and go right into vulnerability. Okay, that's the key. This one was upside down. The sword and the rose. Clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honor, protection, and power. Okay, and so you guys need to let go of that control and power and go into a place of sheer vulnerability. And man, will you blow each other's socks off in that place. And that's what they showed me. So thank you for that visual, Spirit. Love messages are interesting because I got to where you guys were like heated, and then all of a sudden you're like flying downwards, and your socks are flying off. Okay. All right, Kathleen. But it is in the vulnerability place. So both of you have got to let go of the need to be the one in power. Rip it off and just vulnerably make love to each other. Don't wait for it. Create it, sunshine. Don't ever wait for anything. Create it. Unless Spirit says we have to wait, which is really hard for Leo, because what do? We create that shit. We just make it happen. Like, or draw it in. It's like with the job I always wanted. What? You're 17. You're not qualified? Watch me. And I went and I made it happen. Okay? Make it happen. Like, surrender him motionless to where he just can't move. And then you rip off that prickly band-aid and use pure vulnerability. And then you seduce the ever-living daylights inside. I probably took that too far. A little bit too much advice. This is not Sex Advice 101, Bree. Maybe the workshop for Valentine's Day is a good place for that. All right, anyways. My bad. Okay, but it's funny. Woo! I got rid of my shadow self and a lot of healing, and holy majoli. Have mercy on the next male I choose. I'm sorry, I'm a little feisty. Alright. So just fixing these. I don't know what happened, but some of them are a little wonky. Okay. So then we got Amy, right? Amy. Let's see which deck it wants for you. Because when I choose, it's like, haha, not that one. Okay. Alright. Okay. Amy, what they're actually showing me for you is you need to be wine and dined. You need to be surprised with a beautiful dress in a box. Like, this is like in your heart's deepest desire. And I don't know if I should be exposing that, but it's like that beautiful box with a ribbon, and you walk in and you're like, and you open it and you're like, well, that fit me. That's kind of pretty. And then you go put it on and you're like, oh, and then it's like, meet me here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like even though you won't admit that, that's like deep in there. Like, that's what you need. That is the key to your love language. That is like, So what your key to your love language is for him to do something without asking. By golly gee gosh. But that's a man thing, right? So what do we do? Yeah. They're saying there's nothing wrong with educating him on what love language is and what your specific love language is, and doing it in such a way to where there's nothing left for him to do but to look at the beauty of what you are. I could like write a romantic novel right now. That's what's going on. All right. Okay, and that's exactly what the card is telling me, Amy, is you've got to listen to the whispers of your soul, sunshine. You've got to allow that to be who you are and what you need, and that's okay. And there's nothing wrong with expressing that, because I'm also drawn to her. It's like gentle words of expression. Like, this is what I need. What do you need? Right? Okay, let me pull out of that. Give thanks, excuse me, for the blessings of love soon to come your way. Ha ha. Okay. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires. And that's exactly what I just said to you, isn't it, Amy? Holy bajole. So I feel like I just pulled out your heart's deepest desires. And they're telling you to allow yourself to embrace that shit. Embrace it wholeheartedly. Breathe in the essence. And don't be afraid to get what you want. Amen to that. Holy Joey, I like these love messages. They're fun. Oh, I'm good. Thank you, Amy. This is getting intense. I don't know about all this. Woo! You see why I'm drawn? More women are drawn to me than men. I think the more men I work with, it might get a little dangerous. That's hilarious. I make myself laugh. Oh wait, wasn't that in the card too today? That's funny. That was fun. Here, wait, let's pull a Blackwood too, since we pulled a heart one. But instead of being like, I need you to do this, like, this is what I need, and you failed, because what he hears is I failed, okay? And so it would be like really good to like, hey, did you know that people have different ways of understanding what love means? Like, oh, like kind of make it be like so subtle he thinks it's his idea. Like, oh, that would be like heaven. Like, I'd love to experience that. And hopefully he'll get it. I don't know. He might need a little bit more. Like, right in your face. Amy's love language. Right there in front of him to read. Oh my God. And this goes exactly with that. Okay, so that card told you to listen to the whispers of your own heart and don't be afraid to send them out and get what you ask for. And this one is telling you love, unconditional love, self-love, there we go, oneness, passion, affection, and attraction. Okay? Allow yourself to be everything of who you are and allow yourself to have what the hell you need. Woman, allow yourself to have that. Oh. I know. You would have to write it out for him. Be like, this is what Amy wants. And then like, be like, psh, psh, hey, psh, psh. Write it in red, like arrows that flash. Oh, that's hilarious. I mean, you're going to have to just like wholeheartedly just like bear it ass to him. You know what I'm saying? I get that, but that's okay. Just don't be afraid to ask for what you want because I feel like once you do, and it's like really clear for him, he'll be glad to oblige. I do. I feel like it's just, you know, it's like getting in there. Oh man, love language can be very complicated. This is a really funny one. I love it. Most men you have to write it out for. It's rare you find a man who studies up on Tantra. It's rare you find a man who's like in the energy. I found them. And then those guys are like usually like sex addicts. So there's like, where's the damn balance? I want a good man who's like that. Like a one woman kind of guy who's not like too far into his ego. Definitely, you know what I mean? It's like my order is tall. And who's willing to let me rock his world and do the same. I'm sorry, too much info. These loved ones are a little risky. That was so much fun. And I really, really, really got a kick out of asking the cards about the presidency and getting a no. So just thanks, Spirit, for all of this. This was a good, very much so fun night. Yes, I'm putting my order in. I need to put my order in, but I need to be very specific. Like very. And you know, I haven't ever really put an order in a couple times. And then I gave up. It's like, I don't know if I want it. So if I do want it, I should do an order. It's dangerous not, because then Spirit does usually send somebody through. Somebody always tends to pop in. And it's usually somebody from the past. That's the thing too, is like, I'll be like, okay, I'm lonely, I'm ready to have somebody. And then boom, somebody from the past is like, I'm like, shit. I see why you gotta be specific. I ordered a new man. Aw, she ordered a new mom. Yeah, I never did that either. Like, I never knew how to connect with one, so I never ordered a new one. And I fell in love with my ex-mother-in-law. Like, I loved her dearly. She was a lot like me. She was just, it was just like home. And I loved her. And she was not nice in the divorce, right? Because that was her son. And so now she sees it differently, but at that time it was very hurtful. So that was my only other mom. You're so welcome, Kathleen. This was a lot of fun, you guys. Thanks for joining me. And hopefully, we can kind of tune into our bodies a little bit deeper, find out where we are and deepen that connection, that spirit's request or suggestion, I should say. They would know, okay, suggestion, because everything is free will. Aw, see? Mother-in-laws can be wonderful. Remember that movie, my mother-in-law's a monster? And I was like, afraid to be married, and then I fell deeply in love with mine. But that's because I didn't have a big, I would love a big family. I love family. That's right. Aww. I'm sorry, Angela. That's hard. It's very hard. I feel like we're all losing people a lot lately, and it's just a rough ride, isn't it? It's never fun. By golly, time is short. That's why it was nice to laugh tonight and have a lot of fun, even with spirit, right? And we got to connect and receive some love messages. That was fun. Let me know if you guys have a new way to get on in there, right? To get what you need. Right? That was cool. That was a lot of fun. And I like, yeah. And I like how we got a no answer. That really lightened my soul. So, I don't know when I'm going to do the next live. Hopefully I'm back on once a week at least, maybe not twice a week. I am trying to get a regular schedule. So remember, guys, I had this awakening. My life shifted. I went from a career that I spent years studying, doing, to this. And so it's been an adjustment of a mentality one as well. And so now Spirit's telling me to find my joy. I'm making sure I find my niche in it. Okay? Aww. You're so welcome. I love having a good laugh. It was like having a night out with the girls, wasn't it? Virtually, live on YouTube. That's all right. That was so much fun. I loved it. So much love to all of you. I think I'm going to go hang out with the chitlins, and maybe I'll make some new wands. Yes, lots of fun. Keep your eyes peeled for those who are in my newsletter. I've got some announcements, all the workshops that are coming, things like that. I hope you guys join me. I do have the art one coming on the 11th. Only $20. So if you want to get creative, come to that. It was a lot of fun too. We laughed our butts off and got really creative. This was the painting that came out in that one. It was weird. It wasn't exactly what I saw either, so don't judge. This was a creative workshop. But that's the painting that came out in that one. And it was like the darkness to the light, the flower in the muddy water type of a scenario. That was a lot of fun. So if you want to join us, do that. Otherwise, I won't see you in the morning, but you'll hear me for our next day's fun. That was fun. Right? Right? It wasn't too bad. It was a lot of fun, Angela. I know you're a really good artist, so it's like, don't judge! This is just me tapping in. I'm not really a painter. This was the first painting I ever really did. No, second one. The other one was when I was younger. This is my second painting ever. So I'm not like a professional, but you don't have to be to get creative. Creativity helps us manifest and keep moving energy, and so it's very purposeful. So, yeah. Anywho, that was so much fun. Thank you for the girls' night out. That's what I'll call it at this point. I love you guys. Till next time. Remember, you are right where you are supposed to be. So much love. Bye. Aw, thanks, Angela. I love it too. I'll see you guys later.